Hi, the topic is mindfulness. What is mindfulness and why do you need it in your life? My hope is to tell you briefly what it's about, why it's important for you, let you experience a short practice, and in the end of the discussion we'll do a little brainstorming about how you might easily incorporate this practice into your life. So mindfulness is a form of meditation, but it's unlike meditation that you might understand meditation to be. Many people have the misconception that meditation is about stopping your mind and sitting cross-legged for long periods of time. And meditation can be like that. Mindfulness, however, is very different. Mindfulness is a very light, easy, portable, flexible form of meditation that you can use as you need it. You can use it on the fly. You can meditate for 5 minutes. You can meditate for 5 seconds. It's a practice that you use to calm yourself. It's a practice that you use when stressful moments kick in to allow yourself to develop the need or the talent, if you will, to learn to pause. Mindfulness allows you to develop the skill to pause, choose an emotion, then act, rather than reacting to something that's stressing you. So what is it? Mindfulness is a very simple practice, and it calls you to bring your attention into this moment, right now. Mindfulness asks us to keep our attention, our thoughts, focused on what is going on at this moment, and now this moment, and now another. And that is important because in this moment is your whole life. The only times in life where you can take action is now, right now. If you're not here wholly and you have to take action, you're going to be reacting to so much of your life, or you're going to be daydreaming about what happened before or what might be coming. So mindfulness calls us into this very moment because this is when we can be effective. This is when we can take action, solve problems, ponder new solutions. We can express love. We can hug somebody. We can teach somebody. We can take the time to enjoy company wholly and completely by teaching ourselves to pay attention to this moment. And you may think, well, of course I'm in the moment. Where else would I be? As I mentioned, often we are not in this moment. We are in the past or in the future. Let's say something happened this morning that frustrates you. Somebody said something. I should have said this. She should have said that. This should never have happened. You replay things again and again in your head. You can't take action. You're just replaying it. And as long as you're replaying something that's past that you can't do anything about, you are not here in the moment. Likewise, when we worry about the future, we're projecting something that could be. We have no way of knowing what will be. But as long as we're there, imagining what could happen, we are not here in the moment. Totally ineffective in the future. Totally ineffective in the past. Only effective right now. So mindfulness calls us to keep our attention in the now, because this is when we can take action. Another reason to be in this moment is that right here and now in this moment, you and I are okay. Now can't see you in person, but I'm imagining most people who are sitting watching this video are probably okay. You're probably sheltered, fed, clothed. I hope you're loved. But in this moment, we're okay. And mindfulness, by calling you into this moment, helps us to remind ourselves of our okayedness. We are okay. And you may beg to differ and say, Suni, you don't understand. I've got this job or this partner or these kids, this medical condition. I'm not okay. And I will challenge that. Because in this very moment, regardless of any of those things, you can be fine. Even with a medical condition that may create greater problem for you in the future, or is even limiting you at this moment, you can still be okay. You can still be okay. Life is going on. You are here learning a new skill. It's okay. Mindfulness calls us to reinforce regularly that we're okay. Mindfulness calls us to take a deep breath, calm down, and savor the moment. So in this moment we can be effective. In this moment we are reminded that we're all right. A third reason to be in the moment. Imagine a scenario where, let's say, driving to work this morning, you had a near miss car thing. So somebody pulled out in front of you and startled you, and you slammed on your brakes and you did not collide, but you were frightened, and that maybe turned into anger, and you started projecting, this person could have wrecked my car, this person could have injured me, they could have injured my kids who are in the back seat. And you can get very wound up, very upset. Your body's nervous system cannot easily discern what is really happening versus what you are imagining is happening. So when you are winding yourself up by saying, you could have hit me, I could have gotten hurt, your body kicks itself into full fight or flight mode. Somebody's trying to hurt us, I better take some action. Fight or flight mode is a survival mode. It was intended to give your body all the power it could possibly have to run fast, escape, short-term, massive power. However, in the scenario I'm explaining, you aren't really going to fight, we hope, and you're not going to flight. You're not going to run. You are spinning this yarn in your head about what could have been. But your body is still going to respond just as if it had to escape from something that was going to kill it. So your pulse goes up, your blood pressure goes up, visual acuity kicks in, all the energy is taken away from your digestive organs, so processing of food stops. Stress hormones are pumped through your body. These stress hormones allow you to run fast, work hard, extend yourself beyond your normal capabilities. And that's how those stress hormones get used up. But if you're not running, you're not fighting, you're not flighting, those hormones just swill around in your body and they don't help you. Ultimately, they harm your health. So by imagining all this negative stuff that could have happened, and you drive off from this incident and you go to work and you have to tell the story a couple times at work, so you're still keeping yourself in fight or flight mode. And depending what else happens in the course of the day, you could keep yourself in fight or flight mode all day. You don't feel good in fight or flight. You're half ready to blow up in fight or flight. Your body's filled with tension and anxiety and stress hormones. You're not your best self. And you could stay in that mode for a long time. And when you stay in that mode for a long time, it's not good for your health. Mindfulness helps you develop the skill so that when something stressful happens, your first response is take a deep breath. And then choose an emotion to go with. As soon as you take a deep breath, your body kicks itself into the opposite of fight or flight, which is rest and repose. This deep breath would be the action that would happen had you had to fight or flight. When the emergency is over, you collapse and breathe, and your body relaxes, and the pulse goes back down, and the blood pressure goes back to normal. The stress hormones are all burned up, and they cease production, so that you can calm. So rather than kicking yourself into fight or flight, using mindfulness, you could reinforce, even in a stressful moment, that you are okay. and not allow all those negative side effects of stress to happen. The same thing can happen when you're worried about something down the road. Let's say I have a doctor's appointment and they took tests and I'm worried about what the results might be. What if the doctor finds something? What if I'm ill? What if I need surgery? And your body is listening to that going, what? We need surgery? Oh my gosh. And instantly the stress response, the fight or flight response kicks in. So learning to make this mindfulness practice, which we're going to do in a moment, a habit, gives you an alternative when some stressful event happens. It gives you something else to do besides get angry, get upset, react in ways that aren't helpful to you or often aren't helpful to this situation. So how do we do this mindfulness thing? I'm going to ask you to join me in a short practice. And this is just for you to get the idea of how you might do this for yourself. So I want you to settle back in the chair wherever you're sitting or lying. Feet on the floor or feet in a relaxed position. Hands loosely lying in your lap. Breathe in deeply and let the air out. And as we proceed with this practice, simply breathe at your own rate, but breathe a little bit deeper than you normally do. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, close your eyes. Your job right now in the mindfulness practice is to breathe in and breathe out. The harder job is to keep your mind on this moment. As we begin, I ask you to focus on the breath, the cool air coming in through your nostrils, and the relaxing sensation of exhaling. Breathing in fresh energy and air. And when you breathe out, just let go of anything that isn't needed at this moment. In and out at your own pace. In and out. And if not already, very soon you'll notice your mind is wandering. And that is perfectly normal. Your mind has spent its whole life running the show, and now you're asking it to do something different. It's not going to be perfectly simple. Even for me, after all these decades of meditation, some days it's hard for me to get my mind into this moment. So it's okay. This is a normal part of the practice. When your mind wanders, take note of what it wandered to. Am I worrying? Am I making a shopping list? Am I fussing over something that happened before? Regardless, just take note. Oh, I'm worrying again. And call your mind gently and kindly back to this moment. I talk to my mind like it's a small child. I understand you're worrying, but right now, let's just come back and pay attention to the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Mindfulness hopes to help us develop an objectivity about our thinking so that we can begin to watch our mind do things and not be so swept up in what the mind is doing. As you understand the action of this fabulous tool you have in your skull, you can begin to manage it and help retrain it a bit to help you more live a full and happy and calm life. Breathing in and breathing out. Trying to keep your mind in this moment. In and out. Even repeating those words in your mind if that helps you stay in the moment. In and out. You might prefer breathe in peace and breathe out love. Peace and love. Fully expecting the mind to wander, and when it does, take a note, what's it thinking about? And then gently draw it back into this moment, kindly, as you would call a small child, back into this moment. In and out. And now if your eyes were closed, I ask you to gently open them and rejoin me here. Breathing in and out is the skill of mindfulness. Using the breath as a tool to call your mind back into this moment is what mindfulness is all about. You can do this. Meditation was never intended to stop thinking. It's more to learn from the thinking, to watch the mind, listen to what it does, learn to calm it down, learn to, in time, help it stay calm. So, how do I do this thing? When do I do it? How much time do I have to put into this mindfulness meditation? It's your call, whatever works for you. Traditional meditation would have called us to sit for 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night, but mindfulness isn't about that at all. Mindfulness, to develop the practice, to learn this skill so it becomes more of a habit, it is important to make a commitment to do it every day. Could you spare 5 minutes a day? Could you spare 1 minute a day? I encourage you to choose a time that you think you can make happen. And I'm going to give you some ideas about ways you can add mindfulness to your existing tasks so it's not one more thing on your to-do list. So years ago I had a job I didn't like, and I developed the practice of driving to work, parking in the parking lot, and I made myself sit there for 60 seconds. And during those 60 seconds, I listed things I was grateful for about this job that I wasn't so crazy about. I was grateful I had a car to drive to work. I was really grateful for a job. I have to have a job. How would I provide for myself? There were some really good people at this job, and I did appreciate that. And the product that the company produced was important. By the time I sat for 60 seconds and made myself find enough things to fill a whole minute of gratitude, I could get out of my car, walk into work in a more positive frame of mind, and I was in rest and repose mode. Could you do something like that? Rather than getting out of the car and stomping into work thinking about, oh my gosh, what have I got to do? Am I behind? Stop, pause, center yourself, ground yourself, calm yourself, and then walk into work on a positive attitude. What if you ride public transport to work? Could you take a minute while you're riding the train or the bus to think about things in your life you're grateful for? Could you walk from wherever you park your car into your office and meet people's eyes gently and kindly while in your head saying, I wish you a good day. I wish you a good day. I wish you a good day. That calms you and gets you into rest and repose mode. So by the time you walk into the office, you're wishing the people around you a good day, and they can feel that. It feels great. How about mindfulness while you eat your lunch? Let's say you order a salad for lunch and it comes, and you might pause for a moment and realize that someone planted these vegetables. Somebody cultivated them and watered them and cared for them and visualized and helped them grow. They picked them, they harvested them, they washed them, they packed them, and they shipped them to whoever made the salad for you. Someone else received the shipment and washed the vegetables and cut them and cleaned them and plated them beautifully for you. And could you be grateful for just a moment for all those people who brought you today's lunch? You're not asked to be mindful all day. You're not asked to be mindful through a whole meal. But the power in mindfulness comes in developing the habit of being mindful regularly. Could you take a walk at lunch? Get out and enjoy the fresh air and just be in the moment, observing the people or the places you walk by. What if you take a walk after work, and instead of stomping along making tomorrow's to-do list or today's, oh my gosh, I didn't get this done list, what if you just looked at all the different shades of green in the trees, or all the sounds of the birds? What if you took a walk with your dog and you imagined, I wonder what this walk looks like from his point of view? Anything to pull you into this moment is mindfulness. Could you do these practices during dinner at home? Would you want to share mindfulness with your partner or your kids? Oh yeah, kids get this so much more quickly than adults do, and they need it too. They have stress in their worlds. So there's many different ways that you can make time for mindfulness without adding another time slot into your schedule. There's many, many ways I could explain to you about ways you could be mindful, and I don't want to take your time right now. But on the website, under resources, there is a document called 30 Days of Mindfulness. In that document, there's over 30 suggestions of ways you might incorporate mindfulness into your day. I'm not suggesting you do them all, but if you were to look at the list, you might find something on that list that you think, I could do that. That would be easy for me. I'll do that. And then do it. Then make a time and do it. There's another document on there called Meditation 101, which you'll find this explanation written out. Some people learn better when they read. Some people learn better when they watch a video. Some people learn anyways. If you want to read through the gist of what I've talked about, it's there too. So, in a nutshell, mindfulness is a de-stressing practice to calm you and bring you into this moment so that you can savor this one life you have. It's an easy practice, but it's a new habit to make, and I get that that's a challenge, but it's an easy challenge, and you can do it. And the advantages are you will be calmer, you will be healthier, you'll be more in control of your emotions. And in time, you'll learn how to look within yourself in these calmer moments. And someday you'll come face to face with a little bit wiser version of yourself, now that your brain isn't running here and there every moment. So thanks for the time. Come back and visit the site again. There's new recorded meditations all the time. But I'll also encourage you that there are mindfulness apps you can put on your phone. There's CDs and DVDs, and there's websites, and there's YouTube videos. There's all sorts of ways to learn and experience meditation. So I'm grateful you spent some time with me today, but don't hesitate to dig into something else and find the help you need. You don't need to look at stress as something you're just trying to survive. Mindfulness will help you learn to manage your stress so that instead of surviving, you'll feel more like you're thriving. And that's a much nicer way to live. So thanks for your time. Take care.